Hey, Jamie here again. And what I'm going to do, so today is video 4, in essence, step 4. I'm losing track of number of videos, but step number 4, farming and compounding. And if you have followed along correctly, well done you, good job. You would have already gone through the solvable problem. You will have already, you either understand the video or you've actually done it of set up your platforms. Good job you. Number 3 then is deposit initial amount. So hopefully now you have some money, some cash in your wallet, and that's actually then transferred into crypto. So you actually have some crypto. And for what I'm about to talk about, and it likely says this in the video underneath from the setup of the platforms, but the currency that we're going to be basing everything off to start is BUSD, which is Binance USD. That's a cryptocurrency. And assuming you have BUSD in your account, if you don't, no stress, you can go back and sort that out. But what I'm going to talk about from here, farming and compounding, this is probably going to be the longest video because I want to try and do justice to a topic that has taken me hundreds, if not close to thousands of hours of reading and learning and absorbing and rereading and asking questions to really understand this. So whether this takes 10 minutes, 15, 20, however long this video takes, I'm only going to scratch the surface. And it's going to be your job, if you're going to be managing this for yourself, to really learn and learn for yourself, and also learn for yourself in terms of following threads, digging up information, researching, and not being not bringing helplessness to the table or abdicating to someone else to give you the information, but just to do that research. I'm going to try and put links in front of you to help accelerate that learning for you. But everything I'm going to share here is in one of these links somewhere. And I don't mean that like a treasure hunt. It's not like one of my kids' birthdays where I put a treasure hunt together for them to find the presents. Though you following these threads and learning this for yourself is a treasure hunt, and there is treasure at the end. There really is. Again, this isn't financial advice. What I'm sharing with you here is what I'm doing myself, what I've learned myself. And I want to share this with you, assuming you're a friend or family that I'm sharing this with. If you're not and you're just a new friend that we haven't met yet, then hi. But what I want this to be is an opportunity for you to enable yourself to achieve everything you want to achieve, i.e. the solvable problem from step number 1. And whether that's financial independence, financial freedom, or immortal wealth, whatever you're after, I hope you can get it. So farming and compounding, what does that even mean? I learned all about this from these guys, from the Wolf Den. And the website is here, wolfdencrypto.com. I'll let them know that their security isn't working on the web page. That's just a certificate, that's fine. I do websites for a living, I understand what that means. I trust these guys. I trust the founders of these guys. I'm starting to get to know the team. They walk the talk in everything they do, which is in the world today, that's important. Walking the talk, number 1, but especially in crypto. So what I'm going to share with you here is what I've found so far and what I'm doing pretty much daily. So wolfden.crypto.com, they talk about in here, it explains, and this is where I started. I've found this from someone else and pulled some threads and ended up here by myself and learned all about this. And then when you learn all about it, it will take you down a path to Medium, a Medium article, and it will walk you through what it means. Wolfden has done so well in terms of documenting so many things in Medium. They've got a whole lot on YouTube as well, so there's a Wolfden YouTube, okay? And look, I've watched all those videos, and there are even videos in the past that I've watched and rewatched. Hour and a half, an hour. All of these things I've taken time to watch. Maybe on 1.5 speed, but still. It's all about learning, and I'm putting this in front of you as well. So wolfdencrypto.com is the base. And assuming you do follow the paths, you'll be invited to this Discord. And this is the Wolfden Discord here. And it talks about how to get started. It's got a video in here, how to use Discord. And the way they have set up their environment is using one token called wolf pups. And when you get wolf pups and you follow the instructions, I'm not going to tell you how to do it now, that's for you to research, then you get opened up this wolf pup channel in here in Discord. I'm showing you on the screen, and it talks you through everything. It's aimed at being step-by-step, self-explanatory, so you can follow your nose and achieve what you're after. It takes you down to a pup strategy. And again, this is what I was just talking about. I'm going to try and cover this in a short amount of time, but this is step-by-step videos you can rewatch, things you can read in here for you to work your way through. And what it's going to lead you to is, at the core, one of these two websites. This is Dark Knight and Night. I'm going to be focusing on Night, not Dark Knight at the moment. Night is the key focus of the Wolf Den. Dark Knight is on a different platform. Dark Knight is on the Phantom network. Night is based on the Binance network. So Binance USD, that's the token I suggested you buy, because that allows you to get started on this. Now, if I actually go to the front page of this, what Night is, and what this platform is, Night Swap, is something called a DEX, D-E-X, Decentralized Exchange. And the way I explain it to people is that it's a bit like when you try and change cash on the street to change it for another currency. So like you go in with your pound and you want to switch it to euros or New Zealand dollar, and you want to switch it to Aussie dollar, or whatever it is, US dollar to something else. It's swapping currencies. And a decentralized exchange is that. It's an exchange, but decentralized. And so Night Swap is that. And its whole premise is helping people swap their tokens for other tokens. Okay. Now, how does that make you money? Well, they have these four main areas. Okay. This trade is how you exchange your money. So let me just show you this. I'll show you one at a time. So exchange, and it's saying, okay, do you want to exchange what for what? So if I say I want to exchange, and here's some of the things I have in my wallet. If I want to exchange BUSD, I actually don't have any right now in there, for a different currency, let's say that I wanted to buy Wolfies because I did want to join the Wolf Den. So I want to buy some Wolfies. So I go to here, Wolfies, and then I would type in, okay, how many Wolfies do I want? Okay, I actually know I think it's 500,000 Wolfies to join the Wolf Den, right? And that would cost 589 BUSD. So in essence, that's pegged to the US dollar, so $589. Now that Wolfies, when I first joined, that cost 250. And that's Wolfies has more than doubled since I joined, right? Just shows you that anything associated with this environment is growing because of the approach these guys have, the bigger view, the holistic view these guys have, and how it's all interconnected to ensure everyone is as safe as possible in cryptocurrency and is able to grow on the journey. So, firstly, it's exchange. This is where we swap tokens, okay? And again, that's one example. You'll have some BUSD in your wallet. Wolfies is if you wanted to join the Wolf Den. You could buy Guard, which you'll hear about in a minute, Guardian, and Knight. A few of these others you don't need to worry about right now. But BNB, Guard, Knight are the key ones. Spartan there, SPA Spartan. You'll hear about that later when you pull threads. Don't want to overwhelm you, but just know these are a few different currencies. Okay, and exchange is where you would exchange your BUSD for whichever currency or currencies you're choosing. Okay, liquidity is when you join two tokens together to create a liquidity pair, and then you can put that liquidity pair into a farm, which I'll show you in a minute. Again, that might go straight over your head, or you're like, what are you talking about, Jamie? As you learn about these things, as you research about these things, you will understand, okay? So liquidity. Farms. Now, farms are where you put those liquidity pairs, so see LP, liquidity pair, a liquidity pool, in essence. And this is saying the Night token with BUSD, so you should already know a little bit about BUSD now, But when you pair those together in the liquidity, you then get BUSD tokens. When they're joined together, it creates a whole new token. So you get these tokens and you can put them in here. Now, let me just refresh this page because sometimes it doesn't populate the numbers. But in a second, this page is going to populate, the joys of live recording and showing you a screen. And what will happen is all of these numbers will appear. And see, there's a whole lot of different pairs. So night BUSD, night BNB, BNB and BUSD together. You could pair those two together. Guard BUSD, and then a whole lot of others down here. And you can take your time, Wolfie BUSD, a whole lot of others down here. Okay, and you're like, what should I do, Jamie? When, again, I'm not going to give you direct advice for you. It's for you to learn this as you go on the journey. I'm just going to share what I would do and what I did do when I got started, okay? So that's farms, where you can farm a pair, okay? So that's what farms are. Pools are where night, and night is the main token of this DEX. So night is a utility token, which is, or in essence, a DEX token. So night's very valuable. Really don't want to sell your night. You want to build up as much night as you can, because this night can be used a lot over and over and over again. Let me just hard refresh this page, see if I can. Oh, it's not letting me. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. So, there you go. Here's our numbers. So let's see, that one says 181% APR. So if I put night, so stake tokens to earn night, this is a night pool. So if I put night in here, it would create more night because it earns night at 181% APR. Now, here's something for you. APR is your annual return. But if you click that little blue button, see the little blue button there, this one, the little calculator, you get these, and these are APYs. Now, APY is the yield, not the return, but the yield. And that says if you basically every day compound it back in. So let's say you make 2 night. Let's assume this. Let's assume you put $1,000 in. So you have $1,000 of night, and you're going to get 7.43 night. Approximately. These aren't fixed. They're approximate. And they change. They change every minute. They change every hour. Depends on the amount of night in here and just the whole environment. But assuming this was fixed number, which it isn't, but assuming it was, you get 7.43 night for every 1,000 night that you have in this pool. And then if at the end of the day you put that 7.43 back in the pool, right, then, and if you did that every single day, then you would actually have 511% APY on your investment, okay? So that's the power of APY, of compounding, versus APR. You just leave it in there and do nothing. You might still look at it and go, I'm really happy with 181%, Jamie. Yes, but that number changes. So you do need to keep an eye on it. So farms, let's go back here, see the numbers have updated. Great. So you can see some of these farms. This one's the highest one, I think, 322%, right, for night and BNB paired together. And so you will earn night, so it will create or print, in essence, night for you. And again, if we look at these numbers, 13.22 for 1,000 invested in here. Now, the difference between the pool and the farm, that's 1,000 in total. So if you had $1,000 and you did 500 BNB and 500 in night and then join them together, that is 1,000. And then these numbers, again, it changes, but these numbers would stay relatively true to that. But this number does keep changing. I've seen it down to 220. I've seen this as high as 500. This changes. And these fees at the moment are 0, so it's free. There's no fees at the moment to deposit in here. Whereas other DEXs, other platforms do charge you. Okay, and you see all the different numbers, all the different percentages. An important point just to pause at this point, aside from, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, this is what I do your own research, apart from that bit, is your solvable problem. Remember, if your solvable problem says that in 10 years you can get everything you want and you only need 70%, then you don't need these big numbers. Or these big numbers can help speed up your results. Yeah. So anyway, we've talked about the trade, exchanging and creating pairs in liquidity. The farms are where you put the pairs. Pools are where you put a single token, and the pool for this one is night. And it creates night from here. And then the raids, the night raids, are where you can put night. So if you have a bunch of night, you can put night in here, and it will spit out this percentage in the relevant token. So this one, 64% will give you wizard token. This one, 216%, will give you guard token. Okay, and it goes on. Now I've got some down here, Spartans, I'm staked in here, 327%, and I've got 44,000 US dollars in there at the moment, just to give you an example. And that's, you can just see that ticking up while we're talking, 3,041, it'll keep going, of creating, in essence, well, this has given me this many Spartan tokens. And this is probably worth, how much is it? I think it's about 400 to 500 US dollars a day. This is printing out for me for that 44,000, which is just over 1%. And so if I sell those Spartans at the end of the day and change them into BUSD, it would be about 500 approximately. And then what I would do, actually, I wouldn't sell Spartans for BUSD. I would sell Spartans. I would swap Spartans. I'd go back to this exchange, and I would say Spartans. Where is it? It's just doing a bit of a search right now. But it would say Spartans, and I want to change it for night because I want to change. I want to build up as much night as possible, right? And so once a day. So I've got what, over 500,000 there of Spartans. I've got a little target in my head. I'm not sure why, but I want 500,000. So anything over 500,000, I would swap for night, and then I'd reinvest it. Okay. I'll show you that in a second because I'll actually do that now. So we've got the trading to exchange, and that's what we're on right now. Liquidity to create a pair. The farm to put one of those pairs to work. The pools to have an individual night stake. So if you've got a pile of night and you want more night, you put it in the pools. Or if you want to use that night to create extra tokens, which you can then sell back into the environment, you can use the night raids. Okay. That's how this environment works. And what I've just shared with you in 15 minutes, there are videos that go through this for 3 or 4 hours, step by step, explicitly showing you this. I've gone through it really quickly. I understand that. But for me, right now, one of my key strategies to generate extra cash for me is building up my night as quickly as I can. And how am I doing that? I've got a chunk of night, 44,000 US dollars worth of night in here. This Spartan is earned here like this. And then I will sell that back for night and restake it in here. So what I'm going to do right now, I'll just show you the process, is if it's a two-step process. Actually, let me just go into the trade now. I'll do that exchange that you were just looking at just then. And what I'll also do, I have a hardware wallet here, which I'll just show you. It's a Trezor X, I think it is. Nano X, I think. So that means I physically have to press a button to do any transactions, which is one extra level of security to ensure that someone can't try and hack my computer. I'm actually not looking at you. I'm typing in my extra password over here before it can even connect to the computer. Okay, so now my hardware wallet is activated. And so I want to swap some Spartans for some night. Where are we? Where's my night? It's alphabetical, so I should know. Oh, it's up here. Should know, right? And I want to keep it at 500,000, so I'll do the difference, which is 10,830. And that's going to create me 280 night, okay? And night's at 67 cents. So that's maybe $200. It's not a lot of money. I'm just doing this as an example for you right now. Now, Spartans, out of all of them, Spartan, you need a high slippage tolerance, which is, let's see, this 10%. Normally you can actually work at 0.5%, but let me actually show you at 0.5%, and let me show, and it says 0.5%, and it'll fail, and I'll show you it failing. So if I click swap now and say, I want to swap this many Spartans for night, please. Swap. It says, you sure? Yeah, confirm. Comes up with this, probably due to one of the tokens you're swapping. That's okay. Cool, and I think it's to do with slippage. One thing, when I normally see that red message, I normally do this, add a .0 on the end. I know that sounds a bit strange, but just if you're trading something other than Spartan, do that, it'll probably fix it. Let me try again. Yeah, that failed. I know why, because the slippage with Spartan actually needs to be, it's usually about 13%, but I'm going to try 10. Let's try 10% and see what happens. Yeah, so it needs to be higher than 10. So let's go 13. Do swap. Okay, tiny bit higher. Okay, so 14% worked, and see now my MetaMask pops up and it asks for approval. Do you approve this? And because I've got a hardware wallet, it says, don't forget, plug your ledger in. And I click confirm here, and then also now on my ledger it comes down and I have to press a button to approve it down here. So I've just approved that on my ledger and it's gone through. You don't need a ledger, and from a security perspective, it's more about when you have bigger assets under management. You can see I've got quite a bit in here. So I've got a point that I've got a ledger. I'd say anything, once you start getting into 5 figures, I'd say get a ledger. Anything else, you can likely just use your hot wallet, which is just really your MetaMask, versus your cold wallet, which is a hardware wallet. Right, so let me just check that that transaction's gone through in the activity. Yep, it says swap. It comes up here and says it's done. See, now the balance has changed to 500,000 and my night's gone up to 248. So it's 280, but because of the swap, the percentages, again, it's like an exchange rate, and you've got a different exchange rate for the different thing you're swapping. I only got 248. It's okay. Big picture, that's okay. So if I go back to night raids, and I want to put that into here now, okay, I want to put the 248, whatever number it was, into here. I want to add more, so I click on the plus. And what's going to happen, if you notice, let me close this. I've got the 3,000 Spartans that's being earned right now. You will notice that when I add the night that I have, this will go to 0. But what it'll actually do for me, and it all happens at the same time, which means it's not 2 clicks, it's only 1, that these Spartans will go into my wallet. And I'll show you that. So remember, it was 500,000. So when I do this, it should be 500,503. But I'm going to add, now I click on max just to put all of my night in there. Click confirm. Again, I'm going to be asked by MetaMask, do you approve this? And all the time, I'm always paying these little tiny little fees, these little gas fees, which is why you always need some BNB in your wallet. So actually, when you get your BUSD, you're going to need a little BNB as well. So you're going to need to be able to use that for fees. Okay, so let's do confirm. Probably 10% of whatever you're planning to invest, get BNB is a good little tip. And you get that at your entry point. So whether it's crypto.com or easy crypto, get 10% of BNB. So do confirm. And then it's come on my little device. Quickly press that. It's almost second nature to remember there's a device there. And then it's like, why hasn't it gone through? Oh yeah, I've got to press a button. That's good, security. Just check the transaction. So its deposit still pending. There, and now it's gone through. Okay, this has gone down to 0. That's gone up. That's gone up. These two numbers have just gone up. And if I go to into here to have a look, and look at my Spartan, it should be C503173. So that's it, just pops into there. And what I'm now doing in that night raid is just building that up every single day. I'm doing that once a day. I just did it extra today because it was this video. And then as more goes into that, I'm going to get more out of this. And that's the compounding. So that's 327. But if I just keep doing what I'm doing right now, it's 2,500 APR. It's not going to be that, right? These actually have lifespans on them. And the lifespan is this number down here, which is actually, this counts down every few seconds. That's to do with the blockchain. So it's not a timer, it's number of blocks and emissions. So when that gets to 0, this will stop working. Your money's not lost. It's just, it will be what's classed as inactive. See, these are inactive. So these are pools that have been used up. And then if you still have money in it and it went to inactive, you just come in here and get your money out. Your tokens out, I should say. And then you'd be moving around the different pools if you were to do the night raids. I should use right terminology. You'd be moving different raids if you wanted this as a strategy. This is the one I'm using as a core to increase my base as quickly as possible right now. So that is actually how I do it. Okay, so this is a two-part video. This is the how. I'm also going to record another video to walk through the levels, again, that you're going to be able to get in more detail by being part of the Wolf Den crypto. All right, if I'm looking after and helping you with the money, you don't need to worry about this because I've done the thousands of hours of reading and studying. But if you want to do this yourself, strongly recommend you join in here and learn everything you can from these guys, because it's already helped me double, if not more than double, my investment. My base case, my solvable problem, double the amount of assets I have, all from these guys. It's a pretty big statement, but it's true. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, the next video, what I'm going to do is show you, let me just pull up this. So we've just walked through farming and compounding, okay? But what I'm going to do in my next video is go through this with you. And these are different strategies that you can follow. You've just seen Guard BUSD, you've just seen Night BUSD, you've just seen Night, and you've just seen the raids. I'm going to show you how these all come together to help you grow a base. And this is what my aim is. And this is what they teach in the Wolf Den, is to have a base of Guard BUSD, which is producing Night. And then you build Night BUSD, which is producing more Night. And then you use the Night in the raids to create additional cash. You just saw those last two pieces in action. I was using Spartan in the raid. Okay, but this is the high-level big picture. But I will record a separate video into more detail on this, on why. And again, Wolf Den crypto and the Wolf Den has this huge, more detailed, methodical, step-by-step, more videos, more articles to be able to help you if you want to do this yourself. All right, I hope this has been helpful. I know it's a bit like the fire hose in your face. Feel free to, beauty about this on video, feel free to go back, watch it again, take your time as you navigate through. A couple of key things are when you move money into the environment, make sure you've got BUSD and BNB. So 10% of what you're looking to invest BNB. Then you can use that for your gas emissions, which are technically your fees. And then from there, just follow what I had in the video. I'll see you soon.